I'm reading from the book of Daniel chapter 1, beginning from verse number 1. In the 3rd year of the reign of Joachim, king of Judah, came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, unto Jerusalem, and besieged it. And the Lord gave Joachim, king of Judah, into his hand, with part of the vessels of the house of God, which were carried into the land of Shinar to the house of his God. And he brought the vessels into the treasure house of his God. Nebuchadnezzar was such a great monarch of stature. It's quite a character to be considered seriously, in that he pioneered the concept of globalization. The context of every president most often is the influence that he wields in the midst of the territories under which his political power has recognition. But Nebuchadnezzar was a greater feature and figure than just a president of a nation. There were nations that were under him. There were kings that were under him. He had a wonderful administrative structure that extended the frontiers of his influence to continents. So, for instance, if Nebuchadnezzar was feasting, if he feasts, his celebrations will last months, and it will be celebrations across continents. Meanwhile, you need to understand that when I don't know what to call them politically, when the engineers of our current social architecture began to conceive the vision of globalization, they found out that so much infrastructure was needed to create a framework to realize the dream of making the world a global village. Are you still with me? At any point in time I notice you are not understanding, I will reduce the syllabus. So things like internet had to be discovered that could blot out the diversities of space and time and provide connectivity. Things like Facebook. You can interact with people without meeting them physically because of the potential of the internet and social media. All of these infrastructures were needed to really actualize the dream of making the world a global village. And all of these infrastructures were not there when Nebuchadnezzar was the king of nations. I don't have time to dribble this man. He is an icon in scripture. And among men, you know, our God is called the King of Kings, but among men, someone was able to approximate the idea of the King of Kings, and he was Nebuchadnezzar. When Nebuchadnezzar marches with his army on your ground, you have need to intercede, because even their arrows alone can blot out the light of the sun. He was such a man that kings ran errands for. His glory was so vast that he likened himself to the very person of the God of heaven.